Yes. Welcome into the Colby Sapp IndyCarTim show. I am Colby Sapp, along with the guy that's, well, shockingly considered handsome by people that I didn't think would consider it to be. It's one IndyCarTim Ham. What's up, dude?
I'm a catch.
I don't still you can say that as many times as you want to, but I don't believe it.
I'm a catch.
That FanStream sports text line, by the way, is 214-937-0569. Hey, Ronnie, what's up? I mean,
We appreciate all the attention, but we're not sure what it's for.
right. I don't know exactly who's the nephew is you're looking
Yeah,
for.
we don't know your nephew, dude.
But
thanks for listening.
Congratulations. Also, shout out to our one Twitch viewer.
It might be him.
You might be him. Might be old Ronnie. But shout out to you. By the way, one Twitch viewer, invite some of your friends over. It's like Twitch is the one thing that we just don't understand.
Nope.
And also don't market very well. But yeah, it's over there. We're on it. Congratulations, you're here. For those of you that are Texas Ranger fans, I do have a little bit of something to say. I know this isn't our sports segment.
They're all sports segments.
But I did need to get into a little bit with you guys, as the Texas Rangers, by the way, won 15-5 today. I was in and out of the vehicle today a lot. So I was listening to the local broadcast on the radio on 105.3 The Fan. And so I get into the vehicle about a couple innings in, and the Rangers are losing 4-0. And I'm like, crap. This was the game where we could have potentially be in first place after, this afternoon. And so I went and did other things, and then I got in the car on the way here because I couldn't watch it on TV because, well, I just won't even get into it anymore. It's a thing. So I get in the car on the way here, and freaking the announcer just goes, yeah, and the Texas Rangers are up 15-4. And I'm like, what happened? Apparently the Rangers found all the offense again today, which has been a little bit on a rise since we've got some injured players back. But the reason why I wanted to talk to you, Rangers fan, for just a second is I need all of you who's been on this roller coaster with the Texas Rangers to realize this. This wasn't supposed to happen this year.
Nope.
This wasn't the year that you were going to go chase this thing down. Now, with the trade deadline and the things that happened in the trade deadline, you realize that the Texas Rangers management actually thought it's a possibility, so let's go. But you didn't lose any of your future going after the things that you got at the trade deadline whatsoever. So might as well. But I need everybody to remember that was the case. And I know it's hard when you jump on this ride, especially as long of a ride as baseball is, and you got to the All-Star break and beyond, and you were just killing it as a baseball team. But there was signs, even talks from Boch himself, where he's like, we can't maintain this. Yeah. Talking about the offense, but we can't maintain this. And, man, if you take a look at like Evan Carter and what he's doing and what he'll be a part of next year, because that kid's a stud. And then that guy we drafted this year has been tearing up the minor leagues and making everybody there his bitch.
And there's lots of things to be excited about, Colby.
There is.
Going into this year, like you said, no expectations of success. But then, boom, all the early success, even through the All-Star break, and you've had this recent, man, I don't even want to call it a slump. It's just an all-out dip.
Right.
From all aspects of pitching. Then you had some offensive lapses there for an extended period of time. And those two things combined don't add up to wins, obviously, in Major League Baseball. But the players that you're expecting to perform well in the future are still performing well.
Yes, they are.
And then, like you said, you've got Wyatt down there, and I guess he's up to AAA, you said, because the AA season's over.
Yes.
That looks, if he can maintain any of that, I don't even know if he'll be here next year. I don't. You think they're going to rush him along?
No. I mean, when you tear up AA like he did, and then you go to AAA and like he went like 4 for 5 in his first game with like a double and a steal or something. It's something stupid. And when you go there after you did that and you're unless all of a sudden somebody figures him out, but they've had a little bit to figure him out and ain't nobody doing it. So, and by the way, this kid was brought up at a press conference with Bruce Bochy and he just smiled like, wait, who's that? And he knew who that was.
Obviously.
Knew who that was. So people started talking about him on the radio around here. But I've been keeping a look because I've been trying to keep up with the draft picks and what they're doing in the minor leagues. Like, don't look exactly what Jack Leiter's been doing, buds.
Well, according to Chris Young, Jack Leiter's been fixed.
So
we'll see about that.
Yep. Don't look at his current stats. Look at what he's going to do after all this.
Yeah, because he didn't look good. And so they pulled him out of competition. Like, they didn't let him pitch in games for an extended period of time while they worked on some things with him.
Right.
And Chris Young says, he's every bit. They're putting him back, next year. But they said, everything he needed to work on, he's worked out to their satisfaction, and he's going to be fine.
Well, I mean, that's good.
So
I was expecting better than fine. I was expecting your second and or at worst third starter next year by this guy.
Right.
And I was expecting a call up this year
from.
Don't tell me what I wasn't, because I was. You can grimace grunt all you want to, but that's what I was expecting.
All right.
I mean,
I might rather have Outlighter right now.
Well, no, because Al can probably only hump it up there at about 82 right now.
Think he could knuckleball it though?
I mean, he probably could. I wouldn't put anything past Al, but I mean, you've seen him on like that MLB channel, and it doesn't look like Al. I mean, Al could probably, go out there and fake his way, but as soon as the ball came out of his hand, you'd realize, oh yeah, he's not young anymore.
Probably wouldn't be a great fielder either at this point.
Probably not. I mean, hey, I don't want to put it past you. I mean, Al, if you end up hearing this, it was mainly just I don't know. Would you call it a dig? I don't even know.
I don't know.
I'm afraid you might get up there at about the fourth or so inning and just kind of tump over, to use a Kavanaugh reference.
Tump over.
He likes the word tump.
Yeah, he does.
By the way. So there's that. I mean, we have a lot of things to put out there for you guys tonight, of course. By the way, if you're not ready for news and notes, I don't think you'll ever be ready for news and notes. It's the last segment of our show, but I have found some things that might, make your little mind go boop, boop, dude.
Did you just do the pole position thing?
No, that was actually a heart monitor, but I was using it for a brain monitor.
Okay.
So,
all right.
So there you go. Also, we got a little mystery shotgun for you guys tonight, and I'll explain why Lost Kingdom won't do good. It has to do with an old comic book storyline that they are going with that nobody liked when it came out. So I don't know why they're going with it, but they are. So congratulations to all of us on that note. Man, there's so many things that I want to get into that's off the cuff and off the record. Stuff that's going on with wrestling that I'd love to get into, but I don't think I have the amount of momentum to get into it with you guys.
Uh-oh.
So
I just made an admission to you right before we went on the air about wrestling.
You did?
Because I hadn't watched wrestling since probably like 1989.
Mm-hmm.
But I said, man, if I get back, and I've kind of been following it a little bit because you always have it on here in the studio on Mondays and Wednesdays. So I follow along. I like the chick wrestling a little bit more. I guess they don't have Glow anymore, do they?
Glow? Well, no. Glow is kind of went over to the women of wrestling now.
Okay.
You can catch that on late on the weekends, like a Saturday night at like 11:30 or something like that.
Is it all like garbled?
It's not. No, it's not. It's not Skinamax. You're not watching that old porn from back in the day
from on TV,
right? No, but it's really, really, really not good, but it's still wrestling.
But I might get into, and I mean, it's stupid to say I don't like WWE. I really don't care.
Right.
But for some reason, I'm more drawn to AEW.
Well, the difference for the most part between AEW and WWE is that AEW spends more time with the actual art of wrestling at this moment than the WWE does. The WWE spends a lot more time trying to work out their storylines and their main plot lines. AEW has so many plot lines going on that I don't even think they can keep track.
Really?
Yeah. It's like this guy hates this guy. And it's almost like the wrestlers themselves come up with their own plot lines. Like they don't not that anybody has any writers right now, but that they don't have anybody really doing anything to help out their plots. It's some of their plots are so brain dead that
so just like network television in general.
Yeah, but the wrestling on it is because you've got just a bunch of talented guys doing their thing in the rings that that part of it is amazing. So
I think that's what you said before. The technical wrestling is better than WWE, but the storylines are lacking.
Yes, unless the storyline involves in MJF and or Chris Jericho, for the most part, their storylines are kind of, and what? Oh, he made fun of your cat. Now you're mad. I get it.
I mean, didn't they base a whole action movie franchise on that very premise?
No, it was
John Wick.
No, well, that was the dog.
Right, but he shot my dog, so I'm going to go kill 1 million people in 4 movies.
Right. Well, it's a little bit deeper than that. They killed the dog that was given to him by his wife that died of cancer, and she gave it dog to him so he'd have somebody to mourn with. And then they killed his dog. And by the way,
it sounds like a Saturday morning after school special or something.
Except for all the killing.
Yeah.
Right.
Like Scott Baio should have.
But I could totally understand that. I mean, you came into my house, robbed me, beat me up, and I was an old assassin that like basically just used to wipe the floor with everybody. But I retired, and then you come to my house, ruin my peace, and kill my dog? Yeah. I think I'm going to kill all you people.
But 4 movies worth?
Yes.
How long is that going to go on?
I mean,
is it going to be like Rocky?
It's going to, it's going to be like Fast and the Furious.
Oh, God.
It's going to be until people say, never mind, I don't want another one. Because right now, nobody's saying, never mind, I don't want another John Wick.
I think they're done after 4.
They're not done after 4.
But they're done.
Wow.
I think they need to get back into Bill and Ted.
No, they tried that.
And it worked. It was great.
The second one didn't do too well, bud.
No, the third one, the one they just had.
Yeah, the third one didn't do too well, bud.
It was greatness, man.
It was not greatness. I mean, sorry, Bill Esquire. I apologize. But it wasn't really. No.
I liked it.
It wasn't the Keanu that anybody wanted to see. It wasn't.
I mean, if you say so.
I mean, I do say so.
I'll take your word for it, because I think I've only seen the first one, and I don't really even remember any of it.
The first John Wick.
Yeah.
You realize that admittance by Hagelin actually said he hasn't seen any of them, which I now won't talk to him.
But you do talk to him. I've seen you.
No, I don't.
You just talked to him today.
I texted them as a group. Okay. I didn't actually talk to him.
Kind of talking to him.
If he would have come on to do the guest picks tonight,
yeah,
I would have probably had you talk to him.
All right. We'll arrange that then.
So there's that. And it was actually kind of funny because he didn't respond. And I think he didn't respond because I said no communication until you watched John Wick.
And he hadn't seen John Wick.
Yeah, he hadn't seen John Wick. The fact that you've only seen the first one and you're kind of meh on it makes me kind of upset with you right now because it's one of the greatest. It's actually one of the greatest action movies of all time.
No, I get it. I just don't have a lot of time, man.
You watched Samurai Cop.
I did watch Samurai Cop. For you, so we can talk about it on the show.
I mean, it's utter greatness, but that's a horrible movie.
I also sought out Bob's Burger porn. I did a whole segment on that. So all right, so John Wick, or Bob's Burgers porn.
John Wick.
Man, wait.
No, there's no. You don't have to weigh.
I can only watch one.
You've already seen the Bob Burger porn.
What if they came out with a sequel?
There shouldn't. They shouldn't.
Bob's Burgers porn.
Congratulations to everybody that's a part of this. And
So proud of you.
yeah, thanks for being here. Now, horrible way to mount a segue, but I'm just going to go, hey, Tim, what day is it today?
Hey, thanks, Colby, for asking.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot I have a segment on this show sometimes. Colby, today is September 20th in the year of our Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever your Lord is and whatever religion you profess to be a part of. 2023. And Colby, we have some confusing days today.
Okay.
We got maybe the greatest day of all time. And then another one that you're just going to scratch your head. But so I'm scratching my head with this one. I think you understand this better than me, and I don't know why there's a day for it. But today is International NFT Day.
Non-fungible tokens, Tim.
I don't know what any of that means.
So NFTs are basically internet created art and or just stuff that people put a value on, and then it's worth something, and then you have it.
But where? You can't hang it on your wall.
It's in your cloud, your memory bank.
And what do you do with it?
You hold it.
So it's like Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's like
It's an investment.
yes.
Well, we have actual art. Why can't you just invest in art?
Because people are now arting on the internet. So now people want to buy it and own it.
I don't want to.
Even though you can go like this kind of questionable thing, you can go look and see exactly what this NFT looks like that you're thinking about buying. You can actually look and see it. You don't have to own it to see it.
Right.
And then you can screenshot it and you can have it forever if you want to. But the ownership of it is only when you have the actual like code and everything for it.
And then, so then other people are going to want it and they're going to send you money for it?
Once it, yeah, especially if it goes up in value and then you sell it.
Why would it go up in value?
Because
If everybody already has it.
they don't already have it. You have it.
I don't know, but today's also a day that I can relate to, Colby,
Okay.
because it's National Queso Day.
Man, that is one of my struggles when it came to time to cut, time to lose weight, is queso.
Yep.
Queso is amazing. And there's not a real good way to make queso without all the things in it.
To make it healthy, yeah.
Yeah, I've tried to make the queso out of the fat-free cheese, and then but it's got to have the fats in it
To melt, yeah.
and then also you have to have the flour in it in order to actually make the roux. Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
It's real bad. Or the block of Velveeta if you want to just go that route.
Yes. Do love me some Velveeta. Colby, it's also German World Children's Day.
Just the Germans.
Only German world children, I guess.
So, and it's not just in Germany though, because it's the world.
And apparently they have 2 days. German children have 2 days. This is one of 2 children's days recognized in Germany every year.
Okay.
I mean, their kids are only worth 2 days.
So it's the National Day and then it's the World Day.
It just says German World Children's Day.
I wish they'd fix that sentence.
Very
Something is,
confusing, right?
yeah. Fix it.
Germany. Y'all ever done anyway.
Make it more aerodynamic like your cars.
Colby, it's National Care for Kids Day.
But more than just the German kids.
Apparently, this is a successful community is one that provides healthcare, education, and emotional care to its children. That's way overrated. All of those things are overrated.
Man, give the health care to the children so we don't have to put them on our insurances.
How about National Crime and Intelligence Analyst Appreciation Day? What?
Huh?
National Crime and Intelligence Analyst Appreciation Day.
So is that like the Criminal Minds? So basically the Criminal Minds guys on the TV, it's like, hey, thank you for being you.
Take a minute to learn about the importance these professionals play in combating crime.
That's right. They're mentalists, but they're mentalists against crime. So they're criminalists. Is that right?
I guess.
Okay.
And then one that's not confusing, Colby, National Fried Rice Day.
Fried rice.
Or if you're in the Orient, it's National Fried Rice Day.
No, it's not. No,
It's not?
no, I mean, no, it's
That's what I thought.
no.
They called it over there.
I mean, yeah, rice is good.
I like rice. I like Spanish rice.
There's pretty much not a rice type out there that I don't like, but a good Indian rice. Oh, I'm in.
So how is Indian rice made? Because I've never had Indian stuff.
It's what is it? The basmati rice. So it's the thinner, a little bit longer rice grains, and then it's just the spices you put into it, because Indian food, they use every single spice in the spice cabinet.
Everybody in the pool.
That's right. So
how about
they add to allspice? It's like more than just allspice. It's
all the spice.
It's all the spice.
Colby, how about National Punch Day?
And then in the face?
Not like physical punches, but like the drink.
Fruit punch is good. I like fruit punch.
I like fruit punch when you put like Everclear in it.
I mean,
and vodka and spiced rum.
So you're just making cocktails. Yeah. I think it'd be National Cocktail Day if they wanted that.
Well, then let's call it that.
Okay.
For me, every day is National Cocktail Day. By the way, speaking of cocktails.
Cocktails are good.
Cocktails are good. So the legendary PGA of America member, John Gerber, is coming on with us later in the show to talk NFL picks against the spread. He's our guest picker this week. And he warned me
that he's going to be drunk
when I texted him at like noon. Hey, can you come on to guest pick with us today? He's what time? And he's in KC right now.
Uh-huh.
I said, 8:20. He's like, tonight? Well, that's when our show is. You know this.
Right.
You own the company. He goes, well, boys, I'll try. I'm like, no, if I book you, you have to come on. He's like, all right, I can't promise that I'll be, that you understand what I'm saying. I'm like, even better.
That's great.
You're going to outdo Big Red, who will also be on with us.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we're looking forward to that around 8:20, 8:25 in the PM tonight. Colby, it's also National School Backpack Awareness Day.
So what are we supposed to be aware of? That the backpacks exist, or?
Oh, improper use can lead to backpack. Tough sentence to read. Improper use can lead to back pain or injury, which can impact learning.
Okay.
So don't Dude, when I was a kid, we literally put everything we could in the backpack.
Yes.
And now they're saying, oh, you can't. Well, now kids don't have books in school, though.
Right.
Carry their damn Chromebooks. They don't even have lockers in their schools. Are you aware of this?
No, I'm not aware.
No lockers.
Because you don't have anything to put in there?
Well, because kids can hide crap in them now, I guess, which we did all the time.
Yeah, that's
we
where
didn't
you
blow things up.
Yeah, that's where you hide things.
But, yeah, like my son went to Braswell High School the first year it was open up in Aubrey, Little Elm area. And, I went to the tour, like the orientation, not a one locker in the school.
Huh.
And then
when you go to school, where do you hide the Reggie?
In your pocket?
I guess. Now you're just walking around. You're walking dirty now the whole time.
I mean, I usually do that anyway.
But then just because you don't wipe your ass.
My other son, he should have wiped 3 times today. So then my other son went to Panther Creek in Little Elm or Frisco. Last year when it was brand new. No lockers. I'm like, man, y'all can't have fun in school anymore. And then finally, Colby, I don't know how I feel about this. I'm sure you'll have a stronger opinion on this than I do. As it's National String Cheese Day.
I mean, just the pull apart string cheese?
Yep.
It's always the snack that I won't turn down, but I don't end up at the store going, you know what? We're out of string cheese.
Right.
It's just I'm like, hey man, you got anything to eat in there? And he's like, I got some string cheese. I'll be like, cool. I'll eat that.
So I don't mind a string cheese, but I can't pull it apart and make it string. I just eat it like it is. I don't like to pull it apart.
Oh, but it tastes better when you pull it apart.
It tastes worse.
No, it tastes better.
You're not getting a full bite. It's like eating cotton candy. It just dissolves in your mouth.
Well, but the flavor's better.
I disagree.
I mean, that's the reason why they string it.
Well, I know, but they shouldn't. They should just leave it as it is.
Because
you have to pull it apart.
Usually when I make homemade mozzarella sticks, I'll just use the string cheese, but I'll pull the string cheese apart and then do all the flouring and pankoing and stuff.
Yeah.
Makes it taste better.
I mean, I just like it the way it is.
So
That's how I roll.
Huh. Since we know what day it is, let's find out who was born on this day, as I made the list of all the people that were born today. And I'd put on my list the famous enough people for me to put on this list. And if you followed that sentence, well, because I don't know what I'm talking about. This is the good, bad, and ugly. I give you birthdays of people, and then you tell us who is the good person, who is the bad person, and who is the ugly person, starting off today with one of my crutch names that I go to when I just want to throw out a name of this particular person. I use this guy often. It's 48. It's Juan Pablo Montoya.
You even know who Juan Pablo Montoya is?
He's a race car driver.
He is IndyCar, Formula One, NASCAR. And of course, I'm more familiar with him in the greatness of IndyCar as he raced for that Chip Ganassi Racing. Indy 500 winner,
right?
IndyCar champion. So I never liked the guy, but he could drive.
I used to tell people when they'd ask me, it's like, you sure you can do that? Like me on the radio?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, dude, I could do a radio show with me, a monkey, and Juan Pablo Montoya.
Yeah, it's a good bit.
So
it's a good bit.
So there you are.
I don't know if I could even do that.
Red Auerbach well, he's dead. He passed away in 2006.
I'm like, if he's turning anything, that's a story.
Right.
Celtics.
Yep. The next person on our list is turning 35 years old. It's Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Just writing Khabib.
He's the MMA guy.
Which one is it?
Guy.
Now I'm interested. Wait, is he blind or is he gay?
He climbed a mountain. No, he's the guy that used to like wrestle bears and stuff. He threw chairs at Conor McGregor and some stuff. And
he's blind. I can't see to write.
Wow, words are bad.
I'm right. I'm literally writing gay MMA guy.
He's not. And Lord God, please don't let that make it to him that somehow that came out of this segment.
Okay, blind.
Yeah. No, he's not that either. And one horrible segue, the human joystick turns 45 years old today. It's Dante Hall's birthday.
Oh, that's my ex-wife.
No. Used to be married to Dante.
He looked a lot different back then.
Greg the Hammer Valentine turned 72 years old today.
Huh. Where do I know Greg Valentine from?
He's an old school wrestler.
Okay, that's why. That's what I thought.
Used to swing his arm and hit people with his elbow.
Who's this dude?
Well, that's Christian.
Okoye?
No, it's just Christian.
What was he wearing?
Well, the guy on the mic was crap. They're about. I think that's his music. He's about to come out. They'll say who his name
on
is.
AEW.
I forgot. Is the Dragon Conquistador or something? Or
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
That's not him. That's not him. Crap. You know what? I had his name.
Is that Travis Tritt?
No, that's.
You see it, don't you?
I do now. That's Chris Jericho.
Okay, Travis Tritt's on wrestling.
Arn Anderson turned 65 years old today. Another old wrestler. Remember the Four Horsemen?
Yep.
Gary Cole turned 67 years old today.
Dude, anything he touches is gold. Gold.
I need you to stay late, okay?
It's awesome. We're gonna need you to have to come in on Saturday.
George R.R. Martin turned 75 years old today.
Why does he have two R's?
That's him. He's the guy the Game of Thrones guy that wrote all that stuff and still hadn't completed that book series and probably won't ever because he's 75.
Still never seen it.
I'm thinking you would get into it.
Game of Thrones? I heard there was boobs.
There's all the boobs and all the wild, crazy
Incest.
There's everything.
Huh.
There's
Bob's
everything.
Burgers porn?
I mean, probably about the same what you saw on that. You can see on there.
Might have to give it a shot.
Turning 25 years old today. One Trayvon Diggs. Dig it!
What are your feelings on Trayvon Diggs, Colby?
What,
Still think he's good?
Yes.
All right.
Occasionally, I mean, when your defensive line's doing all the things that he's doing, sometimes he falls asleep.
Yep.
But,
he takes plays off occasionally.
But when you're up like 40-0 or 30-10, it's like, okay.
It's easy to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes I fall asleep during the show when you're carrying it.
Right. Sophia Loren turns 89 years old today.
Colby.
Uh-huh.
I think I still would.
And finally, turning 47 years old today, your current and will be again Punisher, John Bernthal.
John Bernthal. Yeah, I'm going to say not a very strong good, bad, and ugly today. Unless you're a wrestling fan.
Wrestling fan, Game of Thrones fan, Marvel fan, basketball fan.
Well, a Celtics fan.
An MMGay fan. I mean,
Colby, celebrating Facebook birthdays today.
There's a lot of good things here. Just nothing that tickled the Tim.
No, like one. Like, even though we had an IndyCar driver, I wasn't even impressed with that. Colby, Linda Lala. No, that's not her real name. That's what she uses on Facebook.
Okay.
She's got the biggest boobs I've ever seen. Good God, they're as big as my face. Each. Colby, it's her birthday today, and she's probably listening. Colby, how about one Peyton Russell?
Ooh.
From 105.3 The Fan.
That morning show producer, otherwise Sean. Good God Almighty, my brain.
Is he blind too?
Yeah. Sean calls him, and this annoys me. Pepe.
Yeah.
Kind of annoys me.
Yeah, it's like a pet name or something.
Hey, Pepe.
Tamara Draney, it's her birthday today.
What's up?
One of my old Firehouse 52 cohorts. Amy Santos, she's a Facebook hot. Former classmate Shelly Beatty. She's a big real estate mogul now. Or she skis moguls. I'm not real sure which one. And then Lena Bina, who was a fan of, well, she still is a fan of the show. I see her at Revel from time to time. Colby, she used to come out to Barrel and Bones and watch the show all of the time.
Nice.
And she is the lead singer of a couple of different local bands, and they play crap like over at Memphis. They played Revel, just some local dives like that. So happy birthday to all of you.
You missed one.
Okay.
You missed a big one.
Okay. On my list?
Yes.
It's not on my list. If I missed it, I literally just read it off the list.
Well, I don't know today.
Uh-oh.
But it's his birthday today. And also a member of their morning show. It is one RJ Choppy's birthday.
Why isn't it on my list? Oh, he must not be friends with him anymore. Colby, he must have deleted me. See if RJ. Oh, no, he never answered my friend request. Remember when my Facebook got shut down and I had to go refriend everybody? I haven't had everybody refriend me yet.
Well, there you go.
Add him again. Probably too busy with that chick of his.
One RJ Choppy's birthday. Happy birthday, Chop. And all those crazy things you told me you did with those things.
Or is it the RJ and Choppy show?
I mean, yes. That's the RJ and Choppy show.
Very good. All right, Colby. My good. I mean, out of everyone on this list, I got to go with Gary Cole.
Okay.
I mean, he played Mike Brady, right?
Oh, yes, he did.
So there's that, among other things. My bad. I'm going Juan Pablo Montoya is my bad. I just never liked that dude, man. I got to interview him a couple of times, and he was just like, and rightfully so, like, F for you. Why do I want to talk to you?
Well, that's a good point.
I'm like, I get it, but it's my job, sir. Please. And then finally, my ugly, Colby. Even though I still would, I got to go with 89-year-old Sophia Loren.
Yeah, she's not doing good right now.
Oh, but I still would.
Just to say you did.
Yeah.
My good, of course, is John Bernthal.
Of course.
My bad is because I hate his style of fighting.
Not Khabib.
Yeah, Khabib Nurmagomedov. Still probably not saying that right. Maybe, you know what? It may have been a little bit of that Freudian slip because he's a grappler.
Okay.
So that might have had something to do with it.
All right.
Does a lot of ground and
Right.
pound.
Mark.
My ugly is George R.R. Martin. And it's not because I'm not a Game of Thrones fan. I actually am. But
Not attractive.
he's not. He's not. So there you are. There's my good, bad, and ugly for today.
All right.
Guys, coming up next in the Colby Sapp IndyCarTim show, we're going to get to that there sports report and talk a little Dallas Cowboys. Is there some Cowboys on the mend? And if you thought this team was, doing pretty good, they're about to get healthier, bud. And then I've got a mystery shotgun that's, probably going to submerge Aquaman too.
Oh.
That's all coming up on the Colby Sapp IndyCarTim show.
Hello, sports fans. FanStream Sports.
Hey, you like golf? There's a good chance you do because I said so. But what do you need playing golf? Well, you need clubs, right? Clubs, you need balls. The thing that people don't usually think about is that golf bag. And that's what most people see when they look at your golf clubs, like right off the bat. And if you've got a raggedy bag, it's not doing you any favors, bud. So get you a new bag. Go over to orca-golf.com. Orca-golf.com. Why are you going there? You're going there because you want a golf bag, but you want one that's kind of screams you. So you want to pick the colors.
Papers for
you
the
can use your own
30,
custom
60,
colors.
90.
Maybe you have a logo in mind. Maybe it's your
the merger.
logo. You're like Prince. You just have a symbol. That's the case. Dude, you can get your logo on there. Your name. Just get it done exactly like what you want it done by actual designers. Nothing goes out of their factory without the approval of the founder, Erica Bennett, who is just brilliant. We've seen some of her bags. We've got one of them actually in the studio. And you know what? Dude, it looks good. If you want other people to look at your golf setup and go, man, that just screams Frank. You want that? Then go over to orca-golf.com. Do yourself a favor and use the promo code DSP10 for 10% off and free shipping. I'll say that again, DSP10 for 10% off and free shipping. So do it today because Orca Golf is the best choice in the game.
Hi, golfers. IndyCarTim here. I want to talk to you a little bit about Golf Central Magazine. It's not just a golf magazine. It's the magazine for everything. Turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Head over to golfcentralmag.com and check out the latest issue. Some of the regular features in Golf Central Magazine: the Golf Bachelorette of the Month, the Golf Bachelor of the Month, the Golf Cart Girl of the Month, Golf History, Grip It and Sip It. So head over to golfcentralmag.com. It's free. It's the magazine for everything: turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Golf Central Magazine at golfcentralmag.com. We'll see you there.
All right, guys, time to talk a little bit about Turf Life. You've seen the hats on our heads. You've been or seen the video of the studio. You've seen that the decals are all over the place. Turf Life. Man, it's the brand that salutes the consumer and industry players everywhere whose lives involve turf. What does that mean? That means if you play or have a business or, maybe you're a sports educator, you're going to be on turf at some point. So you live the turf life. So go ahead and tell everybody you live the turf life by having your Turf Life window decal or, the hat or the keychain or the something. Along that lines, just go to turflifeclub.com and become a turf head. That's what it's called when you live the turf life. You're now a turf head. And you can go join the club today and snag that window decal or snag any other special Turf Life accessories and go over there to that website, which is turflifeclub.com, and get your stuff and show everybody that, man, I'm all about that turf life. And then you just kind of raise your coffee mug at them and go, yeah, turf life, baby. That's what it's about. And then that's the end of the commercial. Ding. That means it's done in microwave talk.
Hey, listeners, make sure you check out the brand new FanStream Sports in-studio text line. You can reach us during any of our live shows or 24/7 at 214-937-0009.
214-937-0569. That's 214-937-0569. Text us 24/7, day or night, and we'll reply to you and make you part of the show.
Coming back at you. Now, more Fan Stream Sports.
Welcome back to the Colby Sapp IndyCarTim show right here on Fan Stream Sports. I'm IndyCarTim. That is Colby Sapp. Unlike last week when I aired on Monday when I ended the show.
Right.
And I was Colby Sapp and he was IndyCarTim.
Which was fun.
Was it though?
Yeah, because you ended up being Jesus halfway through the middle of it.
I was IndyCarTim Jesus.
That's right.
And yet no one acknowledged that on the way home. Coming at you on a Wednesday, right smack dab near the end of baseball season, Colby.
We got 10 games left.
10 games left. We talked to a lot of Rangers at the front of the show. Hope you guys got a chance to listen to that. But it's football time right now. We had a couple of big things shaking up the NFL today, Colby, before we get into Cowboys Cardinals talk. As one of the big stories coming out of the NFL and out of Chicago, as defensive coordinator Alan Williams has resigned his position in the organization, stepped away from coaching apparently to, as he quoted, to focus on his family and health, which to me says, I'm getting the F out of the Chicago Bears.
Yeah. I mean, now there's wild speculation going on across the internets as this happened, as there's even been apparently false reporting of an FBI raid of his home and also of Hollis Hall. That's now being, of course, people are having to actually report, no, this hasn't happened.
Right.
Which the reason being is that there has been, like, this came out of the blue. As far as nobody was, reporting on anything until all of a sudden now he's resigning. The other thing that's kind of drawing up red flags is like the Chicago Bears haven't really came through and said up till when I last looked, said anything like we wish him on his future endeavors, because he's putting up the, whether you want to call it a shield or an actual thing, he's using mental health as part of it. Right. And so this is one of those things where, in today's society, you can't really do anything or mess with because it is a very sensitive issue. So you would think with him using that the team would come out and go, we respect his decision. Mental health is key. And you would expect something like that. The fact that nothing has come out can create wild speculation. And that's what it's doing. And I don't condone wild speculation. I also, going to be quite honest, I don't mind reading it.
Sure.
It'll catch my eye. It's entertaining.
Some of it's entertaining.
Whether it's true or not, different story. I would like to know the truth at some point, but until we get that, that's all we can do.
Yeah. And I'm sure more will come out on this, but of course, if it is indeed due to mental health or even physical health issues, clearly that was more important to him and his family than was his Bears job, which at this point, with what's going on there, who can blame him? I haven't watched Bears football yet. I've seen all the lack of Justin Fields highlights as they're about ready to run him out of Chicago. But I don't know anything about the defense. I don't know how the defense is playing. But clearly he's got other things going on he was ready to take care of. So, and that's what, kudos to him for recognizing that and taking a step to fix whatever it is that he needs to fix.
Right.
If that's what it is.
If that's what it is, I'm going to belay throwing kudos to anybody until, I have more information, because I don't think it's worth, if it's all of face value, then yes, correct. Take care of yourself. If it's not, it just feels weird going into the third week of the season. It feels weird.
It's weird timing for sure.
So, but there's that. And by the way, it almost feels like there's something else kind of going wrong with the Bears, because I know you're not a big Fields believer, and I can understand why, watching the past couple of games, but something seems off with that whole team.
It always has, man. Since the late 80s, something's been off with that team.
Like, there should have been a progression, because I saw progression with him last year. I saw it. Where, like, you could see the step about to be taken with him. And the way they were using him, it's like, you know what? You can run, but also if if we put this offense around you, we can make the passes that you can do. And he's got an arm. He's got a decent arm. And if we do it right with a good running game, you can actually be one of the best quarterbacks the Bears has ever had. By the way, that's not a very long list. And it just doesn't look right. Now it's 2 games. Could totally turn everything around real quick, fast, and in a hurry, especially in that division that doesn't really look like there's a whole lot of people just going to run off with that damn
Looks
thing.
like nobody wants to win the North.
But yeah, there you go. There's our not and pretty actual responsible reporting.
That's a first
on what's going on with the Chicago Bears.
And then as we were kicking the show off, we saw news that ex-Rams now running back Cam Akers is on his way to Minnesota.
He is on his way to Minnesota.
You know, he's been trying to get out of L.A. for a while now. He's been unhappy there. As most running backs, I think, are unhappy in the league right now because they're not valued at all.
Yeah.
That's just the way the game goes. But Akers on his way to Minnesota, who weirdly just got rid of Dalvin Cook.
Right.
And now they've got Akers. Not that Dalvin Cook is lighting anything up in at the Jets, but
well,
we'll see. Sometimes a change of scenery will do wonders for somebody, and sometimes they just disappear into obscurity. So we'll see.
Well, and they gave up a couple of draft picks. The Vikings did in some kind of in the exchange. I don't know. I mean, this is grasping at straws. You know that the Vikings are sitting there going, we're the one that has the most seasoned quarterback in this division right now. Besides, of course, he's more seasoned than Golf. And we should be able to do things. Our team's pretty good. We've got a damn good receiver. Our defense is okay. We got the fumbleitis, or else, they would have won the last game they were in. So the Vikings, I think they already hit the panic mode.
Well, probably rightfully so for them because they don't have a lot of margin for error.
No.
Jordan Love looks good. The Packers look a lot better, I think, than a lot of people thought they were going to be.
They looked about like what I thought they'd be.
Probably me too. I didn't think they were going to be terrible. They're not in a complete rebuild mode. But
I still have the Lions winning that division, by the way.
Which is looking good. I think I picked the Vikings to win, but we'll see what happens. Again, it's 2 games so far, so we'll see. But the Cowboys, Colby, face a familiar foe. At least they used to be a familiar foe, and this is where my hatred of the Cardinals stems, is back when they were still part of that NFC East.
Okay.
When they were in St. Louis.
Right.
And especially in the late 70s when they were winning the division a couple of years.
See, I don't even have to remember that because I wasn't there.
When the Cardinals were good, winning I believe, 78, 76 maybe, winning the NFC East. And then, of course, Jake Plummer and the Cardinals, I think when they were in Phoenix, knocked the Cowboys out of the playoffs one year.
I do remember that, but I still actually didn't.
You just don't care, right?
Yeah, the Cardinals never rang my bell hard enough to care.
But speaking of like organizations that are dysfunctional, this is one of the oldest franchises it's a day oneer, 1920 in Chicago when they were the Chicago Cardinals. And out of all these years, man, to still I don't know that the Cardinals I don't think they ever won a championship.
They're almost. Kurt Warner
never won a Super Bowl. That was by far their most success they had was Kurt Warner, right?
God, I was hoping that would happen. I was rooting for Kurt Warner.
Steelers.
Cardinals.
Because it was against the Steelers for one thing.
Well, that and just, the people that were on the Cardinals, you just couldn't help but cheer for them.
Right. Larry Fitzgerald never freaking got a Super Bowl,
Dude. And one of the greatest human beings that ever put on an NFL uniform. And so, yeah. No, and even with Kurt Warner's amazing.
Yeah.
Except for that one time, that one movie.
This kid's not very good, though.
Well, we'll wait and see on that. But
yes, he's not. Where is he? Miami? I forgot where he's even playing.
You know what? Warners aren't good until they get to the pros.
Right.
Sir.
Right. No, I believe you.
So there's that.
We saw Kurt. So of course, the big story in Arizona this year, Kyler Murray. Still not on the field, still ailing from that torn ACL that he had, the non-contact injury. Man, that was ugly, too, because you knew immediately what had happened.
Right.
When he went down without even being touched last season. But Josh Dobbs in at quarterback for the Cardinals. And, he's not stinking it up, right? I mean,
No.
but they're 0-2 still, which we knew they would be, including golly, what was it last week? The comeback
By the Giants, the greatest comeback in Giants history since
Yes.
1940 something.
Yes, God, that was wonderful to watch.
I mean, it wasn't.
I know because you hate the Giants. I should hate the Giants too, by the way.
You really should.
I don't know why I don't.
They're
To me, they're not a threat.
they're not. But you keep trying to tell me that they are, but they're not.
They should be.
Yeah, I mean, okay. We're not going to get on Giant talk, but
we'll do that talk whenever the Cowboys face the Giants.
Right. Again.
But yeah, for the second time.
It'd probably be 80-0 because this one's going to be in a different location.
Right. It'll be here. But so the Cardinals, I don't think they're disappointing anybody, right? I mean, 0-2, that's what everybody thought they'd be, and it's in a somewhat competitive NFC West.
It is in a competitive NFC West. Dobbs at quarterback. He looks like he could be something like about 75% of the plays, but he'll have his Dobbs play. And it just comes with repetition. It comes with, I mean, you saw this a little bit even last season when he just made it onto the field. You're like, oh, hey, what's this guy? Mm-hmm. What does he do? Oh, he does some things good. He does some things bad as well. This Cardinal game for the Cowboys, I would say, is going to be one of those that they may actually just be asleep until like the third or fourth quarter and then wake up.
The Cowboys will?
The only thing is that you're getting Tyler Smith back. Mm-hmm. You're getting him back, and your offensive line is all going to be out there ready to go. I think this is Tony Pollard's day to just go the F off.
How great would that be?
And
60 yards on the ground and 110 in the air and 3 touchdowns.
You're probably looking at a 100-yard rushing day from TP, and then everything else that goes to it, and then your other plays from Deuce to Dowdle. This may just be just a ground smashing of a game, and not really leaving because you get up on these guys, it's going to end up. It's the formula for the Cowboys right now is you get up by multiple scores and your defensive line pins their ears back, and there's nothing that the offense can do. And I think that's going to happen again. Because the one thing about Dobbs is he's probably the least mobile quarterback that you're going to be up against, besides, of course, Mac Jones here for a little bit. And the not mobile quarterback, that's the only offense that we've really seen against the Cowboys, except for that one missed play where you have a stud wide receiver actually bust open and it required a perfect throw from the Jets quarterback. Other than that, there has been nothing else an offense can do against the Dallas Cowboys defense except the quarterback run.
Yeah, and you know what? Kyler Murray may have looked at the schedule before the season and said, week 3, Dallas, I'm probably going to still be out. Maybe week 4 is when I decide to come. And I don't know what the prognosis is for his return. I haven't heard anything. I really don't give a crap. He's going to be somewhere else here this time next year, I think. I don't think he's going to be in St. Louis, in Arizona.
I mean, he may not be, but you mentioned how dysfunctional that organization is. He might still be.
That's true. But because I don't think I said this when he was drafted. You and I talked about it, and I can't remember where you stand on him. Man, I just don't see him as an NFL quarterback, and I know he's had flashes.
Oh, he's had,
but it can't be sustained.
He's had plenty of flashes. The only thing that I said about Kyler, sorry, it was a bikini scene from Beverly Hills Cop. I just locked up.
Yeah, we both locked up for a second.
The only thing that I said about him when he came out and was drafted is like the only thing that's stopping him, because everybody was telling me how awesome he's going to be, and it's like a defensive lineman is going to get square up on him, and it's going to be a Thanos snap. He's just going to just turn to dust, and that's not what happened. So, I mean, those little Flintstone legs keep kicking.
Well, he doesn't have those anymore now.
Well,
after that knee,
I mean, they're still there. They're just he may not have the quiet Flintstone pace, I guess.
I think he has a knee anymore.
It's been obliterated.
So we'll get into Cardinals and Cowboys predictions here in the next segment, or 2 segments down the road here when we have our NFL picks against the spread. Of course, the Cowboys will be one of our picks.
Yep.
With Big Red and PGA of America member John Gerber joining us for those picks.
Johnny Gerber.
As we have a guest now every week If you'd like to be a guest, too bad.
I mean, or tweet us.
That's all I'm saying.
Or text us at 214-937-0569 and let us know that, hey, first of all, let us know that, you can speak coherently. And then secondly,
Not sure about that.
let us know about your pick prowess. And you know what? We might pick you to do some picking.
I mean, bribes help.
Right.
And not really necessarily money, but, bottles of liquor, Jameson.
Right.
What's the vodka you told me to try?
Well, because you were bottom shelving it.
Yeah, if I'm going to bottom shelf it, I want the best bottom shelf.
Well, if you're going to bottom shelf it, then go with Pop-Off.
Pop-Off, or if you want to bring me some Grey Goose or some Kettle One, I'd like that too.
Right.
But the big tall display bottles that I don't think have anything in them, but I want it full.
Right.
And we'll put it back here.
You want the big 5-liter?
Yes.
Yeah.
5.0 Mustang liter.
Mm-hmm.
That's not really how that works.
Rolling in my 5.0.
Rag top down so my hair can blow.
Mm-hmm.
I swear he doesn't know how to say the word blow.
The girl is just stand by, waiting just to say hi. Did I stop? No, I just drove by.
I got to watch this now.
Mm-hmm.
Dang it. So Colby, real quick before we get into your Mr. Shotgun segment here in a bit, what about some college games that you're excited about this week?
Well, you've got the Colorados versus that USC. That game looks a little spicy. It should be one of those where USC, because neither team can stop anybody, this score might be 70-60 by the time it's done with, but it should be super exciting. And also, what happens if Coach Prime pulls this rabbit out of his hat? Mayhem ensues, cats and dogs living together, and everybody loses their damn mind.
Colorado's at Oregon.
They're not. It's not USC.
It's Oregon. 19 Colorado at number 10 Oregon this week.
Damn it! I thought there was next.
I think that's next week.
Well, I apologize for
Possibly.
that. Mm-hmm.
Well, but you got your Longhorns against their old Southwest Conference rival Baylor.
Yeah, but you seen Baylor play?
I could get ugly, Colby.
It could not get ugly. Baylor's not good. Right?
That's what I mean. Yeah, it's like Longhorns are going to roll them out of the building.
When I think ugly, I think, oh crap, because I'm still waiting on that other shoe to drop. I'm like, so.
And of course, my Aggies are hosting Auburn.
Oh.
Neither team ranked, and both teams are terrible. So,
so you have a chance.
I literally have no thoughts on this game whatsoever. Like, there's nothing. And of course, I got to watch it because I got to cover it.
Right.
I don't even care, man. I don't even care about the freaking Aggies anymore.
You can't say that.
This is what freaking Jimbo's done to me. He's broken me, Colby. He's broken me. As far as big time matchups go, you've got, I don't know if it's big time, but it used to be Florida State at Clemson. Clemson needs to find themselves. Dabo Sweeney's coaching for his job, even though he just won a national title a couple of years ago. They look really bad, man. They look horrible, and Florida State looks really good. I mean, they're going to roll.
Okay, so they just skipped a game on my schedule because I got the September 30th is the USC versus Colorado.
Okay, then that's next week, yeah, because this week is the 23rd.
Okay, yeah, they just skipped it.
Idiots. And then as far as, local games, you've got the traditional SMU at TCU and Aiden Carter. That'll be fun to watch. And because
it'll be one of the last ones for a while, unless SMU gets into the ACC, almost said AAC.
Well, buy a ticket to go there.
Right.
So, yeah, that'll be the last one. But, man, I think SMU's better than TCU right now, which is weird to say because they were in the title game last year.
Right.
But, man, TCU's not good. Of course, the Colorado, Oregon, both ranked. 19 Colorado, 10 Oregon. You've got UCLA at Utah. Number 15 Ole Miss at number 13 Alabama. And how weird is it to say number 13 Alabama?
It feels good, Tim.
No, it feels great. It's just weird.
You know what? You can thank the Longhorns for that, sir.
They might have broken. No. Bryce Young broke Alabama.
You can thank the Longhorns for that ranking, sir.
I'll never thank the Longhorns, sir. A big game I'm going to be watching at 3:00 Saturday, Colby, is UTSA visits Tennessee.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
By the way, has anybody checked on RJ Choppy since last week?
Man. don't know what to think about that. Georgia hosts UAB, which for those of you that don't know is the University of Alabama at Birmingham.
Right.
I think they're like the Dragons or something.
I also think Georgia might win that game.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the line is, but I'd take the points.
Hmm.
And then, of course, Texas visits. Man, we should have driven down to Waco to watch that game. You know what? I would have worn a Longhorns hat.
Then why didn't we discuss this before now, Tim?
We didn't look at the schedule soon enough.
All right.
Number 6, Ohio State at number 9, Notre Dame. I've got Notre Dame in that game. I think they're a better put together team. They definitely have a better quarterback. Sam Hartman's a 40-year-old college student. He's probably got kids in college with him.
Is that Phil Hartman's kid?
Looks just like him, actually. Dude's beard is fuller than mine. There's no way he's 23. Of course, he came from Wake Forest transfer, but
they age quicker at Wake Forest.
They do age quicker at Notre Dame too.
Right.
But let's see. Then you got 24 Iowa at number 7 Penn State in the evening time as Def Leppard, or as Led Zeppelin would say. God, I just got Def Leppard and Led Zeppelin mixed up.
Well, you had one arm behind your back.
Jesus, got one arm missing.
Mm.
Yeah, so there's your college football schedule. One of these days we need to do like college football picks.
We could.
I
mean, we can. Well, we'll have more time when we go to a daily schedule. So
yeah, we'll have a whole. By the way, we'll have a whole extra hour.
Woo!
We're going to 3 hours, bitches.
Yep, Monday to Friday
during the day, maybe, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about 11 to 2,
something like that.
That'd be fun though.
So,
Colby.
Yes, sir.
Are you ready?
I am. Yes. Welcome into Colby Sapp's Mystery Shotgun. I am your host, Colby Sapp, along with Pod Racer Tim. Look, man, we got some things to get to on that old Aquaman, the Lost Kingdom. As I've told you that the test screenings that they had, people walked out. Well, I have now found out through the magic of insiders and leakers exactly why people walked out. And it's not great. A couple of side notes real quick to get to before I get to that little tidbit of note for Aquaman. As we had been, of course, telling you guys about that there was a chance that Michael Keaton's Batman was going to be in Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. That has been cut.
Uh-oh.
That is no longer happening. There was also going to be, and this is going to be either or, Ben Affleck's Batman was going to be Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom as well. That has also been cut. Neither one of them are in there. So if you were that fan tour bus that happened by the studio when Ben Affleck came out of the Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom set, and everybody took pictures and it's like, oh my God, he's there. It's going to happen. Well, he was. They filmed it. And then it's gone. So it's no longer happening. That won't be in the movie. It didn't make the cut. And because people would be confused. This was supposed to come out before the Flash movie. Since it didn't, it would be confusing. So because it was going to be one of those to where it was going to lead into the Flashpoint, and they're going to be like, how are you both here? What's going on? And well, there's a timeline thing.
Yep.
Da, 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 da. Since it didn't, it's been cut. But let's get into the reason why Aquaman Lost Kingdom lost its test screen viewers. And it is all centered around, and if you have the picture of just the baby that's on the film, it's all centered around Aquababy. The reason why it's centered around Aquababy is because this is the child of Aquaman and Mira. And if you've got that other Aquaman panel, throw that up real quick. This is the actual storyline from the comic book. This is where Aqualad and Aquaman realized that Black Manta has killed Aquababy. This is in the movie.
And Aquababy's dressed just like Aquaman.
Right.
Wearing the same clothes and boots and stuff.
This was in the comics. And I guess I should have said spoiler alert. No, I apologize.
Spoiler alert.
So in Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, they have Aquababy, and Black Manta is in the movie because he's the bad guy. So the kid dies and people walked out.
Why would you put that in the movie?
This storyline for those that read Aquaman comics, especially at this point, which admittedly not a lot of people did, because Aquaman was like the joke of the Justice League. So let's go get the fish guy, basically. So nobody really, besides if you were just really into those cartoons back in the day where you throw water balls at people.
I loved those.
Just really wasn't followed that directly. You can take that panel down. But yeah, so they put that in the movie. Aquababy's moved on. And people didn't like this back in the day. So they're not going to like it now. Now, this also comes from a time where I think you know this. So around this same time, Tim Drake, who was one of the Robins for Batman, he was the second Robin, was actually left to a fan poll because they had him captured by Joker. And the fan poll was, should Tim Drake live or die? And the fans...
like we're going to have one of those.
The fans said, yeah, go ahead and let him die.
Wow.
And so that was the reason why that character was killed. And of course, they moved on and brought him back, and he ended up becoming Red Hood. There's a whole thing.
Right.
But they were okay with that, but because he was a Robin, whatever, and they didn't really like him as much as the previous Robin who went on to be Nightwing. Mm-hmm. But you can't kill Aquababy. That pissed off a lot of people.
I feel like there shouldn't have been an Aquababy to begin with. Who's Aquamama?
Mira. That would be.
Oh,
yes.
She's hot in the movie.
Yeah, she is. Of course, her dog stepped on a bee. It's from the court case and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. By the way, again, her time on the movie went from a lot to, I think it's about 5 minutes now.
What?
So, well, I mean, it's Amber.
Do they? Oh, that's true. She's a train wreck. So, do they have fish sex?
Well, I mean, it's not like she lays her eggs out the bottom of the ocean and he just comes by and just pew, 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 just pew. Aqua sprays it.
Now that should have been in the movie.
So that, and then you just watch the baby as it like turns.
Like it hatches?
It just hatches, and then, I know, I'm a baby.
Look, it's baby caviar.
That's right. So that's not there, but yeah, that would be the reason why your Aquaman Lost Kingdom had people leaving the theater. They've cleaned up some of the CGI. I've watched some of the new trailer, but yeah, I just don't think this is going to do good. And if it does good, somehow, some way, I'm going to be really amazed, because the last DC movie, the Blue Beetle movie, it's really, really, really good. Nobody went and saw it.
Because nobody knows who the F Blue Beetle is. I've never heard of him.
You know what? Nobody knew who the Guardians of the Galaxy was, and they went and saw it.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I mean,
yeah, but it had Chris Pratt.
Right.
Chris Pratt should have played Blue Beetle.
I mean, this has George Lopez, the Blue Beetle, dead. So,
well, then I'm out.
So there's that part. So now there is some Deadpool 3 rumors going about. By the way, my phone keeps going off, or else I would be able to think exactly what was about to happen. Oh,
you need a charger? Oh,
no. It's. I think Lance is texting everybody, so my watch and my phone is going off while I'm trying to think. The actress that played X-23 in Logan, the girl.
Okay.
who had the blades on her
Mhm.
and also on her feet.
Yep.
She's grown up now. Looks like she's going to be in Deadpool 3.
I bet it's tough to keep a good pair of shoes.
Probably. So that's been rumored about, and looks like that might actually be true. One that I'm not able to confirm, but God, it'd be funny if it was true. Channing Tatum
Dude, he can do whatever he wants, and I'll watch it.
as Gambit.
I'd watch that.
In case you didn't know this, he's been rumored to be playing Gambit since, I don't know, the first X-Men movie, where he was going to play the crazy Cajun with the cards, Gambit. But his first initial try at the Cajun accent didn't go so well, bud.
It's not easy to do, man.
Didn't go so well, bud. So
They sound retarded, and I can say that because I am one.
but it looks like that might be an actual thing for Deadpool 3. So just plan on Deadpool 3. If everything happens that's been rumored to happen with Deadpool 3, if everything does, it's going to be like 5 hours long. It just has to be for all of these, because you've got old Magneto, you've got old Phoenix, you've got, good God, every Wolverine imaginable and every Deadpool imaginable. And oh, by the way, now Gambit showing up for a little bit. I just don't know. It could be insane.
It's going to be overkill.
Or it could be just
Right.
Right. Because remember all the things we heard about the Spider-Man movie was going to have all the Spider-Mans, and then it was going to have all the bad guys that were in it. And it's like, oh my God, when are they going to have time?
They did it right.
They did have time. So maybe this one as well. So there you go. There is your mystery shotgun for today. And we didn't even get into Ahsoka talk, and there were some interesting things to happen with that. But
we got time for Ahsoka if you want.
Do we have time for Ahsoka talk?
Yeah. We got like 10 minutes.
Really? All right, then. Maybe I didn't know.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, so let's get into a little Ahsoka. And Tim watched the episode right before the show. And if you haven't seen it yet, I know it just came out Tuesday at 9 p.m., so we are a little early on this to be talking about it. But there was one little thing that I wanted to get into. Actually, two things to get into with Ahsoka talk. Number one was that they introduced the idea during Ahsoka about Boken Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the Jedi that's not trained at the temple, or actually traditionally, but trained by just using their knowledge with a little bit of help from somebody else. And this is one where they don't get a lot of that rigid, basically Jedi religion put into them. That's just following their feel of the Force, which has been talked about, not in shows, but actually just in like the novels and such, where they actually use a little bit more of the dark side.
Right.
And, just tap into a little bit of their anger and just use it wisely, like what bringing balance to the Force happens with Anakin. So that was one thing that was brought up during the episode I thought was really cool. But the other thing that was brought up during the episode that might be really cool, but I can get nobody to confirm this, is that the good God, Thrawn at the end looks at the witches and says, by the way, I'm going to need your help again, your magic again. Which, if
your dark magic or whatever it was,
your dark magic again,
yeah.
Which their magic is mainly, for the most part, when they actually do use it, is used to bring people from the dead back. And that was hinted at, of course, with the Inquisitor when he died, the green smoke came out of him. Nobody explained anything about that.
Right.
But that, by the way, they might be bringing him back, again, because he died, the green smoke came out. Maybe they need the Inquisitor back. Maybe that's the character they're bringing back from the dead, is because he died there.
Or Grand Moff Tarkin.
It could be him. Could be anybody. And so I am now going to go down the wild speculation hole.
Irresponsible reporting,
because I can get nobody to confirm this, but I've been desperately wanting this to somehow happen. And they're on the planet that holds all of the Dark Witch magic.
Yep.
Now, even though Darth Maul and Rebels died on Tatooine, It's really strong magic there. Is there any way they bring Darth Maul back? Because I swear to God, that's a stand-up moment. That's a pants stand-up moment. That's a everything stand-up. My lightsaber is young, ready to go if that happens.
So where is Obi-Wan Kenobi right now during Ahsoka?
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
He's in hiding, right?
Yes, he's in hiding.
On Tatooine.
Right.
Watching over Luke.
Yes.
Little boy Luke. Okay. So if Darth Maul came back to life, is the Force so strong with both of them and their Force connection so strong that Obi-Wan Kenobi would detect it?
I'm not sure.
Wouldn't that be cool, though?
I mean, that would be cool, but then you're dragging in Obi-Wan back to the Ahsoka section, because if you're bringing him in, this gets crazy at that point. It's probably not going to be Darth Maul.
Yeah.
It's probably not, but that's just my ultimate dream, is to have that happen. Plus, having Darth Maul in that situation at the end of Rebels, he was kind of a good guy, kind of a bad guy. He wasn't really Sith anymore. He was just like, man, I just need everything to just be right.
Yeah.
And he's also kind of a bad guy. But, you know, and one of the best fights in Star Wars Rebels was Ahsoka versus Darth Maul.
Yeah.
So, good God almighty, just having that, a chance to have that as a live action, because they've already done great as live action with some of the saber fights. By the way, Sabine's saber fight with the Marauders on the planet was probably one of the worst ones I'd ever seen.
Like today?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but she's not in tune with the Force much anymore. Like, her skills are diminished, right?
She's not. And I'm not talking about her use of the lightsaber as much as there was a couple of her kicks that happened during it.
I know what you're talking about.
That didn't make any connection to anybody. They just did, which may be a callback to Return of the Jedi.
Like, she'd be in mid kick and the camera angle would change.
Right.
And before the kick, she's 10 feet farther away than she was when they switched to the new angle.
Right.
Yeah, no, I get it. I saw that.
Right. Because it's the classic, force kick that Luke did in Return of the Jedi.
Oh my God. So bad.
I mean, well, he just force kicked him. Just nobody knew that the force kick was a thing until then.
Until they invented it.
Right. Kicked that one guy square in the face with the force. So, but yeah, that's my hope. But more than likely it is the Inquisitor. But, they've been doing everything we want so far. So might as well do that. That would be amazing.
That would be amazing. All right.
So there you go. There's your mystery shotgun talk. See, I had time for everything.
You did.
I had stuff for everything. I just didn't know how much time I actually had. So
have all the time you want, man, for mystery shotgun.
So there it is. That's your mystery shotgun episode. Coming up next, it's time to bring in Big Red along with Gani Gerber to do a little NFL picks against the spread, plus news and notes. And that's all coming up on the Colby Sapp IndyCarTim show. Click.
I'm getting there.
Bam. Zing.
Hello, sports fans. FanStream Sports.
Hi, golfers. IndyCarTim here. I want to talk to you a little bit about Golf Central Magazine. It's not just a golf magazine. It's the magazine for everything: turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Head over to golfcentralmag.com and check out the latest issue. Some of the regular features in Golf Central Magazine: the Golf Bachelorette of the Month, the Golf Bachelor of the Month, the Golf Cart Girl of the Month, Golf History, Grip It and Sip It. So head over to golfcentralmag.com. It's free. It's the magazine for everything: turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Golf Central Magazine at golfcentralmag.com. We'll see you there.
All right, guys, time to talk a little bit about Turf Life. You've seen the hats on our heads. You've been or seen the video of the studio. You've seen that the decals are all over the place. Turf Life. Man, it's the brand that salutes the consumer and industry players everywhere whose lives involve turf. What does that mean? That means if you play or have a business or, maybe you're a sports educator, you're going to be on turf at some point. So you live the turf life. So go ahead and tell everybody you live the turf life by having your Turf Life window decal or, the hat or the keychain or the something. Along that lines, just go to turflifeclub.com and become a turf head. That's what it's called when you live the turf life. You're now a turf head. And you can go join the club today, snag that window decal, or snag any other special Turf Life accessories, and go over there to that website, which is turflifeclub.com, and get your stuff and show everybody that, man, I'm all about that turf life. And then you just kind of raise your coffee mug at them and go, yeah, turf life, baby. That's what it's about. And then that's the end of the commercial. Ding. That means it's done in microwave talk.
Hello, golf friends. It's IndyCarTim from the Rough. I want to take just a minute here and tell you about our new friends over at Orca Golf. They make high-quality PGA Tour-grade golf bags, and they're the best in the business. They're the real deal. They're the best bags I've ever seen. They even designed a bag for the Golden Bear himself, Jack Nicklaus. Head over to orca-golf.com and pick up a great bag from their catalog, or let them customize one just for you. You can use your own custom colors, your own logo, you name it. You work with actual designers, and nothing goes out without the approval of founder Erica Bennett. She's just brilliant. Visit orca-golf.com. That's orca-golf.com, and use our promo code DS10 for 10% off and free shipping. Do it today. Orca Golf, best choice in game.
Guys, let me tell you about Bay Area Modern Medical Center. Are you experiencing low sex drive, fatigue, hot flashes, moodiness, and you just don't feel like you have the vitality you once had? You're not just getting old, it's likely low testosterone. Studies over the last 20 years show a shocking decline in younger males aged 16 to 39. Older men have seen a sharp decline as well. Do something about it. Go see my friend Christopher at Bay Area Modern Medicine. Testosterone replacement is not a frivolous treatment. It takes a professional, targeted approach that focuses on total body wellness, vitality, and emotional stability. Not a one-size-fits-all approach like many clinics use. They will monitor your blood work and adjust your treatment as needed for optimal results. Call 844-977-3477 or go to BAMMC.com.
Hey, listeners, make sure you check out the brand new FanStream Sports in-studio text line. You can reach us during any of our live shows or 24/7 at 214-937-0569. That's 214-937-0569. Text us 24/7 day or night, and we'll reply to you and make you part of the show.
Coming back at you. Now, more FanStream Sports.
Welcome back to the Colby Sapp IndyCarTim show right here on FanStream Sports from our Dallas, Texas studios as things are starting to cool off a little bit.
What?
But I need to say, first of all, because we didn't say it at the top of the show, and I don't know that I've ever said this in my life to anyone, on air or off air, Colby.
What's that?
Happy Hump Day. Because apparently that's a thing we say to each other now.
Hump Day?
I guess we say Happy Hump Day now. Joining us, is, if you will see on the screen here, Colby, by the miracle of the video phone.
Internets.
We have our normal partner in crime with our NFL picks against the spread, live from Monroe City, Missouri, where my DNA is still underneath the pavement in the parking lot at the dugout.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Big Red himself. Hello, Big Red.
What's up, boys? Yeah, that DNA is probably still in that hotel room too. So,
Poor hotel room.
So the concrete slab's pregnant. Is that basically what you're saying?
no, no, I'm talking about blood. I'm not talking about the other DNA.
Well, both of those DNAs are in the hotel room, but we'll get into that later. Also joining show
By the way, I never want to get into either one of those fluids with you.
Well, I hope not.
Okay.
Jeez.
Just want to make sure that that's out there.
Also joining the show is our guest picker for this week, PGA of America member, ex-mini tour player, for you, Big Red, golf handicapper, and overall stud muffin because he's still got all his hair, Mr. Johnny Gerber. Hello, Johnny.
Well, what's going on, fellas? What's going on? Big Red, I haven't seen you since last. We're actually, me and Big Red we are in kind of the same state. He's in Missouri, but he's St. Louis. I'm Kansas City, but I'm Kansas City, Kansas side. And I've learned the last kind of couple months that I've been here is that the Kansas side of Kansas City is a lot better than the Missouri side of Kansas City. So I'm learning a little bit about this part of the country.
I don't have anything good to say about either one of those cities, to be honest with you.
Sounds like partial shots
I'm
Sounds
just
like a
saying.
little-
I will tell you this, and everyone's a golf. Everyone likes golf, and if you're watching our show, and by the way, we did pick a winner last week. We haven't jumped on the show, talked about the winner last week. But that being said, winners are winners and picks are picks. But I'll tell you, Big Red, as a golf fanatic as you are, I have played the last 2 days or three of the last 5 days, probably two of the best golf courses that I've played in the country. Here in Missouri, Kansas City. One is Wolf
Guess we're
Creek.
doing a golf show now.
Yeah, we are. Well, I'm just worried. When we talk about picks, we're talking about picks. Picking golf, picking winners.
All right. You pick all the winners.
Good golf around here, and we're gonna jump into some good NFL picks.
That's right. It is week 3 in the NFL, boys. As our standings pick heading into the week, we have a new leader in the clubhouse. It is no longer me and Colby tied. It's just Colby. Woo! As Colby racked up 7 points last week for a total of 14. Lance had 6 points for a total of 11. Jeff Thidoff, our guest picker from last week, had 7 points also. Guest now has a total of 12. And I am, me and Lance are sort of bringing up the rears. I only got 4 points last week, and I'm at 11. So, Big Red, it's me and you once again at the bottom, where we're used to being.
It's where the cream settles.
On the bottom or at the bottom?
Good luck with your bottom. So, boys, our 5 games this week as we pick the primetime games. We pick a random NFC East game and then the Cowboys game. Sometimes those things intersect, or sometimes you have weird anomalies like 2 Monday Night Football games. I don't like this, by the way. It's the second week in a row they've done. I don't like it at all. No,
you know what? I
don't like
mean,
it.
we just got multiple footballs to watch.
Would you rather have Thursday night football or 2 Monday night games on a regular thing? If you have 2 Mondays, you don't have Thursday. Or you can have 1 Thursday and 1 Monday. What would you prefer?
Wait, don't we have 2 Mondays and a Thursday this week?
Yeah, this week we do, but I'm talking permanently.
Permanently.
They gave you an option.
Well, as bad as Thursday night football's been, it's kind of looking like they can't pick winners anyway. So I guess give me the double Mondays.
That poor Amazon Prime.
Yeah,
they're getting no love. We have the Giants at 49ers, Steelers at Raiders, Eagles at Bucks, Rams at Bengals, and Cowboys at Cardinals this week. So our first game, the Giants plus 10.5. At the 49ers with a total of 44.5. Colby?
Yep.
You are the leader, which requires you to pick first.
I'm going to take the 49ers. I don't even think it'll be 10.5 close. And give me the under, because I think it's going to be like 30-7 or something like that once this game is done.
Wow, no love for the Giants, man.
No real reason.
Future Hall of Famer Daniel Jones.
I mean, no real reason to do this except for what I think the score is, and I've learned.
All right.
What I think the score is, I should go with that for the over/under. So.
You should. Johnny, that would put you next by points because you're the guest.
Well, anytime you put that magic number, a double-digit underdog. I know it's on the road. But a double-digit underdog in the NFL, there's a lot of value there. So I'm going to take the Giants on the road and the under in the game. I think there's going to be some value in running the football for the 49ers to keep it low. But I don't think they're going to hold their hand a lot in terms of a cross country. I don't think they're going to be able to blow them out. So I like that 10.5 points, and I like them kind of playing a possession game. So I like the Giants plus the points in the under. Very good.
Big Red. What says ye?
Well, I'm gonna go with Johnny on the Giants because again, 10.5. That's a lot of points. So, but I've also Cowboys covered it up last week, but we're gonna go with the Giants. Take the points, and I'm gonna take the over.
All right, very good because all of us except Colby are in agreement. Because I also have the New York Giants because you know what, boys? You can't keep a Hall of Famer down more than 2 weeks in a row.
The Giants aren't good, Tim.
They are good. They just haven't played well. And I have confidence
and
that San Francisco's not as good as they've been playing this year. I'm not a believer in the 49ers this year. I've got the Giants, and I'm going to take the under.
All right.
Next game on the docket, boys, Sunday night football, 7:20 Central on NBC. We have the Steelers. Talk about a bad team. The Steelers plus 2.5 at the greatness of the Vegas Raiders with a total of 43.5.
Neither one of these teams are very good. What
Nope.
is this, a Thursday game?
Thursday night. Oh, no, Sunday night. Sorry.
Sunday night game?
Yeah, Giants 49ers are Thursday night.
Okay, so the Sunday night game. So, by the way, give me the Steelers. I actually think the Steelers might win this game.
Okay.
But then also give me that. I'm going to take that over on that 43.5.
Over 43.5.
Because the Sunday night game usually has a little bit more points.
Johnny Gerbness.
Yeah, that's a tough one. But when you come to talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers, going on the road, I think they off an emotional win at home and a divisional game win, going to Vegas. I mean, is that Vegas flu going to kind of inhabit them? Yeah, I think so. I mean, I like the Raiders, man. I like the Raiders a lot in this game, laying those points. I'll take the Raiders. I don't think the Pittsburgh Steelers can score any points. But I also think the Raiders really needs to score 30 points. I mean, probably MGM's going to get most of those boys for the Pittsburgh Steelers this time of year going out to Las Vegas. That happens in Miami this time of year. There is a real thing called the South Beach flu for these boys, and it really does work when it comes to that. So I'm going to take the Raiders laying those points, and I'm going to take the under in the game.
Big red face.
Well, I'm going to fight against all trying to not go with Johnny, so I'm going to take Pittsburgh, and I'm going to take the under. But I think Johnny's got points with the whole South Beach flu. So,
yeah, I kind of agree with Johnny a little bit because once again, you cannot hold a future Hall of Fame quarterback down. Jimmy Garoppolo, now that he's in Las Vegas, I think good things are about to happen, yo. Him and Danny probably get inducted in the same year, 2038, something like that.
Okay, that's not happening.
So give me Vegas and give me the under on 43.5. Next game, boys, the opener of Monday Night Football, 6:15 Central. You have the Philadelphia Eaglets, only minus 4.5 in Tampa Bay. 45.5 is your total there. Man, the Buccaneers, I think, are better than everybody thought, right? Like Baker Mayfield, here we go again. Third game in a row with a future Hall of Fame quarterback.
I don't know future Hall of Fame, but I agree with you that he's better than the other two quarterbacks you think are good.
Okay.
In this current conversation, I do believe Baker's better than that. And he's also figuring out some things. And you start seeing him actually outthink defenses, which I didn't think could happen before.
Couldn't do it in Cleveland.
It's now happening. And the Eagles aren't doing well. They're struggling a little bit. Give me the Buccaneers. I actually think the Buccaneers do win this game.
Mm-hmm.
But also with the points at 45, I know points are going to get put up in this game, so I'm going to take the over on that one.
Tampa Bay and the over. Mini tour Gerber.
Wow, this is tough. I mean, this is kind of a little bit of a get-right game for Philly, right? I mean, they're going into a place that they're going to put a lot of pressure on Baker Mayfield. But the thing with the Philadelphia Eagles, they're going to put pressure on Baker, and he's going to run. But on top of that is the Philadelphia linebackers on the second tier of their defense are a lot better than the first two teams they played. So they're going to force Baker to throw. And do you really think Mike Evans and in the other receiver that they have is really going to make Godwin going to get open? Maybe, I don't know. Their corners for Philly are really good. So I'm going to lay the points with Philly, and I'm going to take the under. I know it's going to be hot in Tampa. So, 43.5 points is a lot. I don't think Baker can throw the football and put up those numbers. So I'm going to lay the 4 points with Philly, and I'm going to take the under.
Lance Defer.
You will. I'm gonna mirror Johnny's picks. I'm with Philly, and I'm also on the under.
All right. Well, I disagree with everyone here.
Okay.
I agree with Colby on the Tampa Bay.
Good news, boys.
I also think that Baker Mayfield's better than Jalen Hurts.
Oh God.
That's why you don't bet. That's why you don't bet. That's good for you. I mean,
And
so
I
I feel
think-
very good about that. I feel very good about this pick. So
I think home field advantage means something for the Yuccaneers. They got that stupid pirate ship out there and all sorts of weird things in their stadium that I've learned about this year from talking to old JP Peterson out there that lives there and covers the Bucks for us. And that's a weird team. And they got terrible logo, terrible uniforms. But I'm going to pick them. But I'm going to take the under because I'm seeing like a 30-3 Buccaneers win.
I don't know about all that, but I will say this real quick on this game, just real fast. I still think the Eagles are suffering from the Super Bowl hangover, and I don't think they get right for another couple of games, at least. They've won these first couple of games, but it hadn't looked good for the Eagles. And I think the Buccaneers are on some kind of high trying to run this thing out and actually feel like, oh, crap, we stumbled into something that might be good. So I do believe that this is one arrow going this way, another arrow going the other way right now. So that's the reason why I took the Buccaneers.
Gotcha. Ditto what he said is why I took him too.
Uh-huh.
And Baker Mayfield.
Okay, so you think Tampa can win on the board?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
I mean, it's only 4.5, but
yeah, but when you bet the underdog at home, you got to also think that they're going to win on the board, right? So if you don't think they're going to win on the board, but Tampa doesn't have a huge home field advantage. Trust me, they don't. Half the people that live there aren't from Tampa. So
no, I'm talking about the team itself and how they're feeling about themselves. I think this team is arrows pointing in one direction. I still think the Eagles are pointing at that Super Bowl hangover. That's what I'm looking at is how the team's going.
Okay.
Next game, the second game of the doubleheader at Monday Night Football, 7:15 p.m. on ABC. You have the Los Angeles Rams of Anaheim, St. Louis, Cleveland, Los Angeles Rams, plus 1.5 at the Houday Bengals, which I still don't get as a thing, with your total 43.5.
This is a stinker of a game.
Could be.
This is a stinker of a game. I go ahead and give me that under
Okay.
with this game. And I don't see how this porous Bengals offensive line with Burrow, I don't know if he's going to be right this game yet or not, but you have a crappy offensive line going up against Aaron Donald.
He didn't practice today.
Did he not practice today? Does that mean it doesn't mean he's not playing.
No, it doesn't mean he's not playing. It just reduces the percentage, right?
Right. I got to take the Rams here until the Bengals prove me wrong and they're not playing right. I got to take the Rams here. So give me the Rams and that under.
Gani Gerber.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a little bit of a game where, I mean, are the Bengals going to go 0-3? I don't think so. The Rams coming all the way, doing a travel all the way to the East Coast to play the Bengals, playing in that kind of climate, playing at home game. It's kind of a get-right game, I think, for Cincinnati. Cincinnati's getting points, 1.5 points at home.
Right.
I mean, you want to think so. I think the elimination of Cam Akers, as much as they don't like him on that team, he was a really good blocker on terms of that offense for the Rams. And I just don't think the Bengals are going to go 0-3, and especially being home, a little home cooking. Maybe Joe Burrow, maybe it's a little fool's gold with him having a little injury, but I think they're going to step up in this spot, being at home, getting points at home. It's a very rarity. So I'm going to take those home points, and I'm going to take the under in that game.
Cincinnati and the underwear.
Yep.
Big, bald, red face headset.
Yep. Well, again, I'm following Johnny, so I'm going to pick Cincinnati in other pick'ems this last couple of weeks, and I just don't know how they're as bad as they are. So I'm staying with them. They can't be this bad. Joe Burrow's got to pick it up. So I'm taking Cincinnati, and I also am taking the under.
Very good. I like Colby. Don't mark that, by the way.
Okay. You're the one marking. Why are you pushing buttons?
You like other guys. I mean, you just do.
I like other guys.
That's why. Yeah, I'm taking the Rams, and I'm taking the under as well. I think
Rams?
Joe Burrow is hurt.
You don't know if he's hurt.
I just said I think Joe Burrow is hurt.
Okay.
Even if he plays, he's not going to be 100%.
That offensive line is bad.
And he's got maybe the worst offensive line in football. And you know what else? This is breaking news.
Joe Burrow's not that great, guys.
Okay, you're dumb. You're
He's
quarterback
not
dumb. You
that
are now quarterback
great.
dumb. I knew you were quarterback dumb.
Shock
but
value.
That might be the dumbest. No, I can't even say that was the dumbest thing that you've said about quarterbacks.
Oh, it's
'cause I've
definitely
heard
not the
other- your
dumbest thing
other
he's
comments.
ever said. It is definitely not.
Joe Burrow's not that great, boys. What's he done lately? Nothing. And then finally, boys, the game that apparently only we care about and probably nobody's going to watch.
I mean, I'll watch it.
The old NFC East matchup between the Dallas Cowboys. By the way, minus 11.5 Dallas Cowboys on the road at the Phoenix University Glendale Country Club's Hefty Bag Stadium at the Cardinals with a total of 43.5. 11.5, boys.
That's a hefty number. That sure is a hefty. I don't think it's enough.
With Dak Prescott as your quarterback.
I don't think it's enough. I also think this is going to be a heavy run game because you're getting Tyler Smith back. I think they go trounce all over. I think this is one of those where they cover and the under. So give me the Cowboys and give me the under.
All right. Big Redness.
I hate agreeing with Colby, but yeah, that's where I'm going. As long as that Cowboys defense is going the way it is and their offensive line is getting healthier, Arizona's just got nothing, dude. So yeah, give me the Cowboys in the under.
Dallas in the under. Gonnie Gerber.
Yeah, this is a tough spot, man. I mean, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to take anytime I get an NFL team with double digits, I'm going to take him. But the Phoenix Cardinals is not an NFL team. Let's be honest with you. They're just not.
That is a total correct statement.
You got a third, fourth-string quarterback in Josh Dobbs, which I don't think he's terrible. Here's the thing with Josh Dobbs. He's a running quarterback. He ran all day long in Tennessee. He's got value. He's always been a running quarterback. But the thing with the running quarterback in NFL that's successful is their second tier of defenses aren't very good. Well, the Dallas Cowboys' second tier defenses are fantastic. So they're going to hold him to some limitations. They're going to make him throw the football, and that's going to be a bad spot for the Arizona Cardinals. I hate laying double digits, man, but this is a double digit. If you're ever going to lay double digits, I'm going to take the Dallas Cowboys, and I think they're going to get up to a big lead, and I think they're going to kind of lie the game, and I'm going to take the under.
That is the only pick that Johnny halfway agreed with me on anything during this show. I just want to point that out. Every time I said something,
I cringed.
I
cringed.
Every time
He's your boss. He's supposed to question everything you do.
I did this.
Yeah, so this might be the time. I said last week was
I did this.
7 points
It's Halloween.
the first week.
Trick or treat.
I got 7 points the first week, and I was like, all right, well, don't listen to me because that's my high note. So I guess last week was my high note. Either that or Gerb may have to go back to PGA because he might not know this NFL thing.
So all three of you guys have Dallas in the under.
Right.
Well, that means I'm going Arizona in the over.
Pretty sure I know the NFL thing too, but that's just me. I don't know.
I mean, I just gave both sides of what could have happened here in these picks.
You couldn't spell NFL if I spotted you the N and the L.
Trick or treat.
All right, boys and girls, that is our NFL picks against the spread for week 3 here in the NFL. Starts tomorrow night with Giants at Niners. We will recap all of these, I guess, next Wednesday whenever we have our guest picker on. We don't know who that's going to be yet. Hey, Stacy, want to come on and be a guest picker?
Stacy's not to work, so I actually got a quiet house.
Ooh, what about Heidi or Hillary? They can come on and pick for us.
Twins.
Or they can do, but one could pick the line. One could pick the team. The other one could pick the total.
What about the concrete you impregnated or put your whatever on there? How about that?
Yes.
That was blood. I don't think people can get pregnant with my blood.
Are you sure? Should we ask Quora?
I'm not sure. You got 37 kids. Something has to happen. I think you talk to them and they get pregnant.
I probably got more semen than blood in me right now.
Next year.
These are things I don't even need to know.
Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it. Can you do a semen count test?
Stop. Just stop.
What?
No, I'm talking about the quarterback, Marcus Seaman. Or Trevor Seaman.
That's Trevor Simeon. And he's second baseman, you jackwagon.
And Marcus Seaman.
That's right. In the Navy.
All right, boys. Love you, boys. Catch you on the other side.
Love
There they
y'all.
go.
Be
Appreciate
good.
you, boys. Have a great rest of the show.
Yeah, it's going to get great. Yeah,
Johnny keeps coming back in the room. I don't think he wants to leave.
he's back.
He's black.
No.
For the love of God. Are you ready for your other one?
I am ready for my other one. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Gani Gerber. Thank you, Big Red. Thank you, me, for making us sound good. And also you for making us sound. I'm struggling with this mounting. News and Notes is where I search the World Wide Web for the weird.
Internets.
By God, I found it. This man had trouble mounting. Let's go to Florida. Reason why we're going there is because Melvin Cintron, I guess we'll go with that.
Sounds good.
He's charged with second-degree arson and third-degree grand theft on Wednesday. Here's what happened. He poured gasoline on a car before setting it on fire. Why did he pour gasoline on a car? Well, it belonged to his ex-girlfriend.
Oh, that'll do it.
Notice ex-girlfriend. So he did that. Also, by the way, the police found out his ex-girlfriend is also his cousin.
Okay, wait a minute.
So Melvin Cintron,
What was she first, the girlfriend or the cousin?
I'm going to go cousin first.
Well, they could have found out after.
I'm just going to go cousin
All right,
first.
sounds good.
I mean, you didn't ask me what they knew first. You just asked, what was she first?
What was she?
She was first the cousin and then the
Okay.
girlfriend.
You think they knew?
You know what? Florida man, so probably.
Okay, you're probably right.
So now, yeah, he's been charged. But what I want to know is why did that end up in the news article too?
I mean, especially in Florida.
Right. I understandably, the news article is, hey, man, this dude poured gasoline all over his ex-girlfriend's car. But it's actually in the headline. Florida man sets fire to car belonging to ex-girlfriend who happens to be his cousin, police say. By the way, it's too long to be a headline, but still.
Sounds like it's not pertinent to the story, right?
I mean, but yet it's information I would have wanted to know if it was out there, right?
Because you probably wouldn't have done this story if it wasn't there.
No. As soon as I saw girlfriend and cousin in this involving the same person,
Yeah.
I was like, this headline has to be read. So there you go, Florida.
Yeah.
guy. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Let's go from there to I'm going to start reading this story, and somebody please tell me when this starts making sense, okay? Because it's a news article, and it's a story, and it's an actual one, but I don't understand. True crime writer allegedly extorted prison nurse through fake murder for hire plot against husband at behest of Tinder match dismemberment killer on death row.
None of that makes sense.
Okay,
Is
so
that the headline to the story?
that's the headline.
Oh my God, I have to give headline lessons to people. I have to
So-
give headline lessons.
So a true crime book writer. So she writes about true crime.
Okay.
I guess was doing a story about the dismemberment murder of 24-year-old Sydney Loof. So yeah. So she's working on a project about it and developed a romantic interest with the Tinder killer inmate responsible for the horrific crime. So she's interviewing him.
Yep.
Okay, so what this guy did was he right-clicked on Twinder.
That Tinder for twins?
Yes.
You can date both of them.
That'd be nice. So right-clicked on Tinder, and when they, right-clicked back or whatever, he's like, cool. And then he'd just kill them and dismember their bodies. That's the thing he did. So during the conversations with this guy.
I bet his second date percentage was slim.
Yes. She ended up developing a romantic interest. Now, because of that, the Tinder killer talked her into extorting a corrections nurse and at his behest before he was sentenced to death row. So somehow extorted a corrections nurse to smuggle in a cell phone and chewing tobacco.
Huh.
So an affidavit reportedly detailed that Trail, by the way, that's Aubrey Trail is the inmate. It's the dude that did all the things. That Trail successfully learned personal details about the nurse's home life and used her unhappy marriage with the help of Al-Rakabi, I don't know who that is, to convince her that there was an active murder for hire plot against the nurse's husband.
Huh.
This is still all part of the same story.
So convoluted.
State authorities, with the benefit of the nurse's December 2021 interview with the FBI, reportedly alleged that Al-Rakambi committed theft by extortion, getting closer to the victim because there was true crime buffs and spending time bonding over the commonality of these at the suspect's residence. This story drives me insane.
Man, I had a headache now.
Yeah, so I just want, because I'm reading an exact verbatim,
Right.
and I don't understand, but I know things happened.
Huh.
So whoever wrote this story is probably all correct. This story I don't know where it goes. Basically, they convinced the nurse that there was a murder for hire plot against her husband, who, by the way, didn't like her marriage, but somehow, threatened by this, she was able to sneak in a phone and chewing tobacco to the Tinder killer because the true crime writer thought it'd be cool. That's the story.
Huh.
I apologize if all of you are as lost as I am. I'm moving on.
That might be the most confusing story you've ever told on this segment.
Yeah, there's that. So as I'm waiting on things so let's go from there to probably the worst baby name in the history of Australia, maybe the world. So ABC journalist Kristen Drysdale, she gave birth to her third child.
Okay.
And she had a question.
I was out of town that weekend.
Right. She had a question. She was like, you know what? I wonder, because you have to present your name to the Australian government and they approve it or not. That's
when you have a baby?
yes.
I feel like we should have that here.
That's a thing that happens.
Okay.
So
That's probably smart.
she wanted to test and see how
far she could take it?
How far she could take it with the registry. So she was like, all right, what is the worst thing I could name my baby? Because I want it to get rejected. So I can do a news story on how, yes, some things do get rejected because there's a lot of people with crazy effing names in Australia, and yet they have this registry. So what she named her child is Methamphetamine Rules Drysdale. First name Methamphetamine, middle name Rules, last name Drysdale.
And this chick's a journalist?
Is. Send it to the registry just going, yeah, they'll reject that one. They have to, right? They just have to. It made it through the filters. That baby's name is now Methamphetamine Rules.
You can't change it?
It's the baby's name registered with the government, Tim. I don't know if you know how the government works, but it don't move fast. For a while, this baby's name officially is Methamphetamine Rules.
And there's a birth certificate out there with that on it.
Yes.
Wow, Australia. Good day, mate.
So again, she had no worry in her mind that the name Methamphetamine Rules was going to make it. That's the reason why she spelled out methamphetamine. She thought maybe meth rules might sneak past.
Right.
Because, Grandpa's name's Meth or something, I don't know, right? But the whole thing.
Short for methamphetamine.
Yeah. So, yeah, now the baby's name is Methamphetamine Rules. So.
I want a follow-up story on how long it takes that to get changed.
Good day, mate. So there's that. let's go from there to Atlanta, where Mark Tyler Nobleman was supposed to talk to the kids about the secret co-creator of Batman. So he's called out to a school to talk about it. And before I get to the rest of this story, you know what Mark Nobleman's job is? He's a Batman researcher. That's his job.
Wait, that's someone's profession?
He is a Batman historian, not a comics historian, not all the world of comics historian. He is a Batman historian. That's his job.
What do you think his net worth is?
If it's
$100?
if it's twice as much as like mine, I am sick inside.
Because you would do it.
I would totally do that.
If you had to pick any comic book character to be that historian, who would it be?
Oh, for me, it's got to be, well, it had to be one that was super popular too, that you could make money off of.
Well, just let's say you could make money off of any of them. Like, which one would you want to be the researcher of?
Just know all the things
Yeah,
about?
yeah. Then the guy that people call to do radio interviews when his movie comes out.
You know, I could do it for Batman.
Right.
I probably would love doing it for Batman. Shazam would be one of them.
Wow, really?
Yes.
That big on the original Shazam. Huh?
I am. The original
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel. I
Yep.
am big on that. The other one would probably be Daredevil.
Okay.
Those are my guys.
That'd be cool.
So, yeah, if I could be a professional Captain Marvel / Shazam historian and that's my job, F off. I'm having a great life.
You know who I would pick? This isn't a bit. This might be my favorite superhero. Underdog. I love Underdog.
Underdog's not bad. But if you're going to pick one of those originals, wouldn't you go with Mighty Mouse?
Like Mighty Mouse, too.
So, but anyway, he's there as the Batman historian to tell the kids
Wow.
about the secret co-creator of Batman. So it's a story that there was two creators of Batman, and one got all the glory, the other one didn't. So he was at the aim of inspiring young students in the suburban Atlanta county to research and write. Then the school district told him that he had to cut out a key point from his presentation, that the artist he helped rescue from obscurity had a gay son. This was a thing that's in the history of Batman. Rather than acquiesce, he just canceled his talks because he's like, I think we're past hiding this part of life from kids. That's stupid.
All right.
I mean, he found his soapbox to stand on. You know what? Either side of it, I don't care.
Doesn't matter, yeah.
It was the fact that this guy's job is to study Batman.
And that's how he found that out.
Yeah, just F out and F off and
And
F
out.
on.
Wipe on, wipe off.
That's right.
Huh.
So let's go from there to Brazil, where there's a lot of people, I've heard, at least a Brazilian of them.
Good day, mate.
Let's go to the Santa Amaro University, where there's a women's volleyball match, which, by the way, a Brazilian women's volleyball match.
Oh, is it sand volleyball or is it
It's-
stadium?
It's just a college
Oh,
Brazilian volleyball match.
Colby. I would pay $1 Brazilian to go watch that.
Holy crap. I'm not kidding. That should be a TV show by itself. Should be a TV show by itself. But,
Should be a porn.
oh dear, are you prophetic?
Yes!
May not be the way you wanted to be prophetic. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's not.
I'll take it.
Because they got a weird way to celebrate in Brazil.
I'm moving to Brazil.
Oh my God. The weirdest way. As these were Brazilian medical students. Well, that's not the number of medical students, because that'd be a lot. But their college volleyball team beat their rivals. To celebrate, a bunch of the male medical students stormed the court. And you've ever seen flash mobs
Yes.
where they just start dancing. Well, imagine a flash mob that just starts masturbating. Because that's what they did. They stormed the court, dropped trowel, and at the beginning, all of them just started a unison yank.
Surprised I didn't get that memo.
I
have questions, Colby.
First of all, in this story, it says, this is a bizarre moment as a bevy of Brazilian medical students stormed the volleyball court and performed a group masturbation act following a women's match.
Could you?
Like
physically, do you think you could join in on that, in that atmosphere, that scenario, with all of these people around, dudes?
Right.
Could you whip it out and make it in the state it needs to be in order to accomplish that?
I don't think I could.
I don't think I could, man. That's a lot of pressure.
But here's the other side of it. So, in order to pull this off, you couldn't just
No pun intended.
You couldn't just instantly go, all right, it's time to go. Bling.
Right.
It's ready to go. There had to be a bunch of dudes watching,
Fluffers?
yeah, that were just fluffing themselves in the stands, just waiting. In other words, this was premeditated.
And you don't know when the game's going to end.
Right.
So you just got to keep it ready.
Yeah.
I'm in.
I'm not.
If the Cowboys win the Super Bowl, I am storming the field.
Storming the field and hoping that.
Whip it out.
Right.
Look at me, Troy Aikman. Look at me, Tony Romo.
Look at me, Tom Cruise.
Help me, Oprah Winfrey.
Oh, my God. I don't understand this celebration. I mean, sure, yeah, you just watched women's college Brazilian volleyball. I'm sure there's some people that are at the ready already.
Man.
But to work yourself up to a frenzy, maybe like two guys running out there just because they can't take it anymore.
There has to be video of this.
Yes, but I don't want to see it. The other thing is for this had to have been a conversation of, if this happens, this is what we're going to do.
And then all those people had to agree to it.
Right.
I mean, maybe things are different in Brazil. Maybe you're allowed to just whip it out on the street corner and go to town.
I mean, I'm going to go with no, but maybe. So
God almighty, that's my favorite story.
Yeah. So I can't.
Watch some Brazilian volleyball.
And then what do the women that just beat their rivals think about that? Do they look at the group of men just
to turn them on,
polishing the bishop and go, that's for us. This is great.
They're tributing us.
Yes.
That's because of what we did.
This isn't the greatest song in the world. This is the tribute. What? Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing. I'm in.
So, and you know what? I should just end on that story.
You could.
And I think I am.
Wow.
I think I am. Just the Brazilian nut job ended the story. There, by the way, that's a actual nut joke right there.
Yeah, we need to copyright that.
Yeah.
Trademark, register all of it.
That's news and notes, everybody.
Thank you, Colby Sapp. Thank you, IndyCarTim. Special thanks to Gerber for being our guest picker in NFL picks against the spread. We hope you follow along.
Hope Mrs. Gerber wasn't watching news and notes.
Oh my gosh, right?
Uh-huh.
Nancy Gerber probably wouldn't be. Appreciate that very much. We will be back on Monday to recap the Cowboys' big win over the Cardinals.
Probably not celebrating Brazilian style.
No. Well, maybe.
No.
We'll talk about it.
No, we won't.
A little bit. We'll text back and forth about it.
And then never text that to me.
We may have more information on your Texas Rangers and where they stand in the American League West in that fight. So we will update you on that. But you boys have a good football weekend. We'll be back on Monday. And until then, we'll see you.
Thank you.